Field Note 21.06 24. Site OPC Menoseto Uno Apu Oengate. High southern flank, 4,850 meters. A late-season sun warms the blue ice. The meltwater hisses. A quiet sound in the vast silence of the Puna. It runs in thin silver braids over dark stone, tracing a line straight for nature. This is what the herders saw. A scar, a seam. I kneel, the cold biting my lips. My breath clouds the air below my gloved hand. The glacier has pulled back just enough. A single, perfect course of dressed andesite. Its joinery finer than anything we know from the Valley Lactis settlements. The stones are dark, volcanic, and fitted without mortar. Above it, the ice is a translucent wall, meters thick. Below, more stone, disappearing into frozen scree. My students are quiet, their faces a mix of awe and altitude sickness. The porters murmur, their coca quids making small lumps in their cheeks. This is a place of power. We all feel it. The Apu, Great Mountain Lord, watches us. The fibers remember the cold of the first spindle, the oil of a thumb and forefinger twisting. Wool of the vicuña that has never known a corral, dyed with a beetle's blood. The pattern holds a name. The wind is a blade. It carries the scent of ice and distant moss. I pull my chulo down, covering my ears, but the silence gets in anyway. It's a pressure, a weight, the silence of ages held in stasis. We are trespassers here, but we were called. Before a single tool is unpacked, we gather. The air is thin, but Doña Tomasa's voice is strong. She unwraps her mastana, the ceremonial cloth, vibrant against the gray rock. On it, she arranges the caintas, 3 perfect coca leaves for each of us. She adds sweets for the earth, a splash of cane alcohol for the mountain, a depaho offering. She speaks in Quechua, her words weaving a space of respect around us. This is not about taking, it is about asking. It is Ayni reciprocity. We are here to listen to what the Patia cosmos is revealing. The ice gives back what it has held, she says, her gaze fixed on the impossible seam. We receive it as a child who receives a story from a grandparent. With care, with patience. She is a Ayac, a keeper of wisdom, and her permission is the only one that matters. Not the radio calls from the ministry in Cusco, already crackling with impatience. Not the promise of academic fame, only this Ayni. We make our offerings, one by one. The smoke from the Palo Santo wood rises, a thin prayer in the frigid air. We are asking the Apu and Pachamama, the Great Mother, for their consent. We are a community team, archaeologists, yes, but sons and daughters of this land first. The mountain will decide if we are worthy. The silence that follows is different. It is no longer a wait, but an embrace. Permission granted. We can't touch the stones. The ice is too fragile. The structure's integrity unknown. Any attempt to excavate would be a violation of the site, of the promise we just made. Extraction is a language we are unlearning. Instead, we turn to the light. Javier, my lead student, has the fiber optic Boroscope ready. We found a fissure, a hairline crack near the top of the seam where the ice has melted unevenly. A tiny opening into the dark. It's a keyhole. I feed the slender camera into the frozen gap, my knuckles brushing against the glacier's cold skin. On the screen, a new world flickers into being. Not a tomb, not a storehouse. Something else. The light illuminates a small, dry space. Bundles of desiccated plants, tied with delicate fiber cords, rest on a stone shelf. Their colors are muted but present the ghost of green, the memory of gold. Woven bags of braided camelid fiber, their patterns tight and complex, sit beside them. And in the center, a disc. It drinks the camera's light, a perfect circle of black, glassy obsidian, polished to a mirror finish. My breath catches. There is no pottery, no metal. This is from before those things. A time capsule, freeze-dried and waiting. The knot is not a knot. It is a word, a number, a memory of a star's position. If you pull the red strand, you remember the drought. The yellow, the first rain. The black remembers the one who tied it. We are looking at a moment preserved from a deep, almost unimaginable past. Before the Kappa cone, the Great Road was even a thought, before the first stones of Cusco were laid. This chamber was sealed when this mountain was a different shape, when the world was younger. I think of the oral histories, the stories of the Machacuna, the first people who lived in the dusklight. Stories we thought were myths. I guide the camera upwards, tracing the interior wall. The lens finds the underside of the lintel, the single great stone spanning the top of the entrance. Carved into it is a symbol I know in my bones, a stepped triad. Hanan Pacha, the upper world of the condor and the stars. Uku Pacha. This middle world we inhabit, Uku Pacha, the inner world of the serpent and the ancestors. The three worlds of Andean cosmology, a cosmic map, carved here. 15,000 years before the Inca Empire would raise it as their standard. I pull back from the monitor, my heart hammering against my ribs. I look east, toward the rising sun. The seam in the ice runs perfectly toward the point on the horizon where the sun will appear on the solstice, just days from now. It's a line, a sight line. It rhymes with the SEC spirit line system of Cusco, those sacred pathways that radiated from the Coricancia organizing a whole empire. But this is older. The source, the seed of a worldview that would one day build an empire. You have come just in time. The light returns. My satellite phone buzzes, a harsh, alien sound in the pure air. The ministry, a voice I don't know, sharp, with bureaucratic urgency. Dr. Quispe. Report. I describe what we have seen. Non-invasive survey. Preceramic indicators. Possible astronomical alignment. The voice on the other end is not interested in nuance. Secure the artifacts, he says. The word hangs in the air, cold and heavy. Secure. Take. A team will be dispatched from Lima for immediate extraction and preservation. My jaw tightened. That's not possible, I say, my voice level. The site is not stable, and we do not have community consent for extraction. Doctor, this is a matter of national heritage. It is too important to be left on a mountain. It is on this mountain for a reason, I reply, my eyes meeting Doña Tomasa's across our small camp. She nods, a silent confirmation. We are its custodians, not its owners. We will log, we will seal, and we will wait. The work will be done on the Apu's time, not ours. I end the call. The silence rushes back in, cleaner this time. The decision is made. We will not break our promise. This discovery belongs to the Alu community, to the mountain. We are here to facilitate a conversation, not to commit a robbery. We spend the rest of the day with photogrammetry, mapping every inch of the exposed surface. We log the microclimate. We plan for the science that will come later, after permissions are granted, after the community has decided. AMS radiocarbon dating on a single loose microfile. Obsidian hydration analysis. Palynology of the dust in the fissure. All of it can wait. As the sun dips behind the western peaks, casting Ausangate in shadow, Javier calls me over. He points to the very edge of the seam, where the ice meets the rock. A new crack is opened in the afternoon warmth. Peeking out from the frozen seal, no thicker than a blade of Ichu grass, is a single, knotted cord, a Khipu knotted cord record. Its tip is a deep, earthy red. It is the color of memory, the color of blood, the color of a story waiting for the right light to be told. We seal the fissure with clean snow, protecting the fragile opening from the night's deep freeze. Now, we wait. We wait for the solstice. We wait for the sun to strike the lintel. We wait for the mountain to speak again. The hold is the hush, and the hush is the hold. The melt arrives late this year, a sharp hiss of water over rock. On the flank of Ausangate, blue ice peels back from stone, revealing a line too straight for nature, a seam. Dressed stone. The herder who saw it spoke of a scar on the glacier's belly. Now, I am here. Chaska. Quispe. Community archaeologists. With me are the elders from my elu, our local community, porters shouldering gear, and my students, their faces tight with altitude and awe. The air is thin at 5,200 meters. Each breath is a choice, memory. The smell of my grandmother's hands, earth, and potatoes. Her stories like fine-spun wool, weaving the past into the now. The wind cuts a blade of cold against my cheeks. I taste the bitterness of the coca leaf I chew, a small offering for clarity and strength. The silence up here is not empty. It is a presence, a weight. The glacier breathes around us, a slow, ancient life. Our steps are measured on the scree slope. The report from the herder was terse, transmitted over a crackling radio. An edge, a corner, something man-made where only ice should be. We approached the site, a procession marked by the crunch of boots and the rhythmic click of trekking poles. The scale of the exposure is staggering. A lintel, nearly 3 meters wide, now free of its glacial shroud. The stones are dark, volcanic, fitted with a precision that speaks of immense effort and a deep understanding of material. No mortar. Just weight, tension, and time. Before a single tool is unpacked, we pause. This is not our land to simply take from. It belongs to the Apu, the great mountain spirit of Ausangate, and to Pachamama, the earth's mother who holds us. Doña Tomasa, Ayac, a ritual specialist and keeper of wisdom, steps forward. She unwraps a small, colorful textile, revealing coca leaves, flower petals, sweets, and a small, carved llama fat figurine. Her voice is low, a murmur against the wind, as she prepares the despacho, a bundle of offerings. We ask for permission, she says, her Quechua soft but firm. We are here not to take, but to listen. This is Ayni. Ayni. Reciprocity. A sacred balance. What we receive, we must give back. Her words frame our work, shifting it from extraction to conversation. This is not a discovery in the colonial sense. It is an encounter, guided by the community whose ancestors may have shaped these very stones. The smoke from the small fire she builds curls upwards, a question sent into the vast, indifferent blue. We wait. Only when the last of the offering has burned do we begin. The ministry's liaison, a young man from Lima named Vargas, watches from a distance, his impatience a palpable hum. He speaks of protocols, of securing the site, of national heritage. His vocabulary is one of ownership. Ours is one of kinship. He does not understand the pause. To him, this is a delay. To us, it is the first and most critical step. Consent before touch. We deploy the non-invasive tools first. Ground-penetrating radar maps, the density of the ice and what lies beneath. The readings suggest a chamber, a void, extending back into the mountain. The ice is a fickle guardian. A natural fissure, a crack near the base of the lintel, offers us a less intrusive path than drilling. It is an invitation. My student, Matayo, carefully guides the Boroscope's fiber optic tendril into the darkness. 9:43. The camera lens is wiped, the focus adjusted. On the small monitor, a world locked away for millennia flickers into view. Whisper. You built this place of waiting. A seed against a long cold. You knew the ice would come for it. The image stabilizes. My breath catches, not dust, not stone, but texture. Color. Bundles of what looks like freeze-dried ichu grass and other plants, tied with delicate, braided cords of camelid fiber. They are stacked with purpose. Deeper in, the light glints off a surface It is not rock. A disc, perfectly round, black, and glassy. Obsidian. It rests on a low stone pedestal, a silent heart in a silent chamber. Is far from any known volcanic source. Its presence alone is a testament to a network, a journey. The preservation is breathtaking. High altitude, low oxygen, constant cold. A perfect cryo chamber, older than any civilization we have names for. Then, my eyes are drawn to the Lintel itself, just above the fissure. Carved into the stone is a triad of symbols. A spiral for the world above, Hanan Pacha. A puma for this world, Uku Pacha. And a serpent for the world below, Uku Pacha. The three realms of a cosmology we thought was born thousands of years later. Too finite, era etched in stone from a time before ceramics, before the great cities, it suggests a continuity of belief, a philosophical bedrock that endured for 15,000 years. These are not just symbols. They are a diagram of the cosmos, a pasha, a unified concept of space and time. The seam of the structure is oriented at a precise, I take the reading, 67.5 degrees. It is a number that echoes in my mind. It rhymes with the logic of the SEC system. The ritual pathways the Inca would later radiate from Cusco to mark sacred sites and celestial events. It points toward the horizon where the sun will rise. During the June solstice, the Inti Raymi, a short walk reveals another clue. The faint, eroded outline of a terrace, its edge aligned with the chamber's entrance. It feels like a fragment of a path, a precursor to the Great Capacone, the royal road of the Inca. We are not claiming it is the same, but the logic feels familiar. A thought carved into the landscape, passed down through ages. This was not a tomb. It was an observatory, a pivot point between the worlds, a place to mark the turning of the great wheel of time. Vargas approaches, his voice sharp, breaking the spell. This is a find of global importance, Dr. Quispe. We need to secure the contents. The ministry will dispatch a recovery team from Cusco immediately. We must prevent looting, degradation. His words are about control, extraction. He sees a collection of artifacts to be cataloged and displayed. We see an ancestor's voice, waiting to speak. Doña Tomasa meets my gaze. The decision is unspoken but absolute. No, I say, my voice steady despite the tremor in my hands. We will not open it. Vargas is aghast. This is state property. It's a matter of procedure. It is on our ancestral land. Doña Tomasa replies her authority quiet but unshakable. The Apu has granted us a look, not a key. To force the door is a violation of Ayni. We will wait. I support her, explaining the science of our restraint. Breaching the seal now would destroy the microenvironment. It would be an act of vandalism, not science. We have logged the exterior. We have our initial data. We will seal the fissure and monitor it. The real work is not in taking, but in understanding. The alignment. Itel Vargas, gesturing to the horizon. It's not an accident. This Locta, this place of memory and power, was built to greet the solstice sun. We will wait for that sun. We will see what light it brings to the Lintel. He argues, he threatens, he pleads. We hold firm. This is our ethical stand. The decision is made by the community. For the community, we will not be hurried by the demands of a world that has forgotten how to listen. We will share the data, but we will steward the site. As we prepare to leave, packing our equipment under the fading light, my headlamp catches something. Tucked into the ice at the very edge of the lintel, almost invisible, is the tip of a cord. It is knotted a single, short, dark strand. It looks like the end of a Khipu, the complex knotted strings used for millennia in the Andes to record stories, data, histories. But this is so much older. A proto-Khipu, a single, frozen word from a language we have yet to decipher. The hold and the hush, the pressure from the ministry, and the silence of the mountain. We have found a door, but we will not force the lock. We will wait for the solstice, for the key of light. The glacier holds its breath, and so do we.